Bhavat Bhavam literally means house to house. Bhavat Bhavam is a Sanskrit word which literally means house to house. But does it make any sense? What is house to house? House to house is house to house relationship in the 12 houses. Today we are going to talk about the concept of Bhavat Bhavam. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanic Astrology channel. I am your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You will be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. Today we are going to talk about a very unique concept into Vedic astrology and an important one which is known as Bhavat Bhavam. When I was in school, yes, I attended school. Okay, so when I was in school, there was a popular puzzle wherein we have to identify how many triangles do we see in a given diagram. Did you solve that? I couldn't. Bhavat Bhavam is also, you can go to any depth of Bhavat Bhavam. There is no limit to two things, elements of 5 elements of creation and the Bhavat Bhavam. You can go to any extent. The difference between a good astrologer and a best astrologer is use of Bhavat Bhavam. We all know the house signification, what third house stands for, right? What fifth house stands for, what seventh house stands for. But third house is, we are counting it from the first house, right? But third house is 11th house from your fifth house, is 7th house from your ninth house, is ninth house from your 7th house, is the 5th house from your 11th house. So third house is not only what we see as a third house. Third house is third house when we count it from ascendant. Yes, if we count it from the 7th house, 5th house, 7th house, 11th house, it has whole new meaning to it. Okay. When we are talking about the third house, we all know the significations of the third house, but when we are judging third house, we judge the third house lord, the planets placed in the third house, the planets aspecting the third house, and the third house lord. But we also have to look for the Bhavat Bhavam of the third house. How do we look at the third house Bhavat Bhavam? Is when you are looking at the third house, look for the third from the third, which is what? Which is the fifth house. There are two ways we can use Bhavat Bhavam. First way is to count those many houses from the house in question. Just like in the example, we talk about the third house. To judge the third house, we count 3 from the third house, 3, 4, 5. We have to count the third house. So the 3 from the third house. So when we count 3 from the third house, it becomes the fifth house. Third house, fourth house, and fifth house. We have to count the third house. That is important. So the fifth house becomes the Bhavat Bhavam for the third house. Let's take another example. If you want to see the fifth house prospects, the prospects of the children, you have to count fifth from the fifth to see the confirmation. So fifth from the fifth is a Bhavat Bhavam for the fifth house. Okay. So you also have to look for the ninth house lord, ninth house lord, ninth house aspects, and all the conjunctions planet placed into ninth house to see the prospects of the fifth house. Okay. So this is the part 1. This is the one way we can use the Bhavat Bhavam, and we can use this for all the 12 houses. I just took 2 examples, house number 3 and house number 5, but we can do it for all the 12 houses. Second way we can use Bhavat Bhavam is to identify all the relationships in your horoscope. You know, 5th house is children, 9th and 10th house is your father, 4th house is your mother. And what if I ask you about your maternal uncle or paternal uncle? Okay, let's see this. 4th house is the house of your mother. Okay, and third from the 4th will be the younger siblings or the siblings of your mother, which is what? Your maternal uncle and aunts, right? So the 6th house in your horoscope is about your maternal uncles and your aunts. Why I am saying maternal? Because the 6th house is third from the 4th. In this example, 6th house is third from the 4th, which is what? Sibling of your mother, which is your maternal uncle and aunts. So if somebody asks an astrologer about their maternal uncle or aunt, he has to look for the 6th house in your horoscope. If there is any difficult transit or difficult sign placement or planetary alignment into the 6th house, there will be tension into this relationship. Okay, 6th house is also the house of enemies in your horoscope, but also your maternal uncle and aunts. And what if somebody asks you about your elder siblings' career? So elder siblings are signified by the 11th house. 10th house is the house of career. So the 10th house from the 11th house becomes the career of the elder siblings, which is what? The 8th house. Okay. If you apply this, you can know each and every relationship in your horoscope. You can take any random relationship. Let's take an example of career of your wife or husband. Husband or wife is signified by the 7th house, and career is ruled by that career or profession is ruled by the 10th house. So the 10th from the 7th, you have to count the 7th house as the first house and start counting the 10th houses from the 7th house. You will come to the 4th house. So the 4th house is not only your mother's signification, but the 4th house also signifies career of your spouse. And if you note it down for all the houses, as many significations you can pull out, your predictive ability will go to the next level. Let's take an example of the 4th house. We will try to go as much as we can go deep into the 4th house with Bhavat Bhavam. Let's do this. 4th house is ruled by moon in natural horoscope. Okay, so you have to look for the placement of moon for first. Okay. 4th house signifies your mother. It also signifies your spouse profession. It is also the dhanasthan for your siblings, the younger siblings. The 4th house is also 8th house from the 11th house. So it is an up and down or transformation for your elder siblings as well as your friends. So you can see this. Okay. 4th house is also the 9th. 4th house is also the 6th from the 9th house. 9th house is about your gurus. So the 6th house also determines the difficulties your gurus might face, or the obstacles or the enemies of your guru. You can see all these in your horoscope. Isn't this amazing? 4th house is 12th to the 5th house. 4th house is 12th to the 5th house. So it is a loss of your children. 4th house is the Moksha Trikona house. 4th house, you just keep on adding element and note it down. You will have phenomenal observations. Even if you feel it doesn't matter, even if you feel it is irrelevant, just note it down. And once you have that collection, you will have phenomenal observations. And do it for all the 12 houses. This will help you to really take your predictive ability to the next level. 4th house is 9th from the 8th house. Okay, this is going crazy now. You can do it for all the 12 houses. Each house is certain number away from certain houses, and apply the natural horoscope significations to these houses is Bhavat Bhavam. This was my analysis of Bhavat Bhavam, house to house indication and interrelationship between the houses. You can go to any depth. There is no limit. There is no limit to two things, elements of 5 elements of creation and the Bhavat Bhavam. You can go to any extent. You just start noting the significations and you will have phenomenal results. And if you don't know your planetary alignments, go check out my website and get your consultations today. Okay. And sending you high vibrations, love and peace. See you in the next video.